Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate Stuff podcast, where we dive deep in the world of real estate investing and the random stuff to make life interesting. I'm John Whitfield, joined by my co-host Papa P from Ted Sysops and Carlos Zamora from InvestorFuse and Carrot. If you're trying to watch this on Facebook, I apologize. My account has been deactivated for reasons they can't tell me. So we'll get streaming back up to Facebook here as soon as possible. But I assume most of you stream from YouTube anyway. So glad that you're still here watching. Today, this week on the podcast, we're going to do part 2 of our kind of series about setting up the best kind of automation. This kind of came forth because, as everybody who listens to the podcast knows, and as we talked about last week with Andy, Papa P does PPL leads, and so we wanted to make sure that we can set up InvestorFuse automations to touch his leads as much as possible. Ultimately, because the way that PPL providers work, and as we discussed last week, if you haven't watched that episode, I highly recommend it. The interesting thing about PPC versus PPL is the nice thing with PPL is that you can refund leads that you can't get in touch with, and other reasons, like if they say it's listed or they're not actually selling, PPL will give you your money back, which if you're running your own PPC campaign, generating those types of leads, you don't get a refund. You just get to suck that cost up and enjoy it. So with PPL leads, as with any leads that you generate, but especially with PPL leads, you want to make sure that you are touching them as much as possible in what's the time period that you actually have to do it within? Is it 4 days? Within 4 days, you've got to hit these kind of certain number of touches to prove that you have attempted to talk to this lead as much as humanly possible.
So every provider is different, and I've tried out a whole bunch of them, and I will say property leads is more specific and on what they'll do, but they're more clear, if that makes sense. I speed the lead, they'll take refunds. Motivated leads, they'll take refunds. Some of them are very vague about what it is, and you kind of submit it and see if you get it type of thing. But yeah, generally the 4-day thing isn't just for them. If you think about it, no matter what type of lead it is, it's pretty much those first few days you're double tapping, double texting, double tapping, texting, calling multiple times. But then after 4 days, things kind of die down to where they're on they're cold lead at this point. Yeah, you have a name and a phone number and an address, but after 4 days or even 3 days, to me, pretty much 3 days. The 4th day is just confirmation that you've been effed off. But 3 days is really where I think it turns back into a cold lead if you haven't made initial contact. But yeah, so.
I agree. Well, so what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to do quite a bit of screen sharing. You guys get to experience the new streaming platform's scenes. This will be fun to find out how this all works, and especially because I'm on the laptop. But we're going to screen share. The first thing that we're going to do, though, is test out some AI functionality that I'm working on. So here at InvestorFuse, we're starting to play around with AI, sequence generation, rewriting, variations, all that fun stuff. So I have, let's call it version 0.1 of this that we will eventually have something like it.
Nah, dude, I should be the only one who has it, obviously. I feel like we're harkening back to the premium days when I was like the first person on premium, and then you released it and everybody loved it, and I was like guinea pigging that out. Like I feel like what was that, like 2 years ago?
That was 3 years ago.
Is it 3 years already?
Mm-hmm.
Bro.
Pretty crazy.
I'm gonna have to get with you on AI stuff. So I'm probably not skilled enough to do it. I was trying to train my AI.
It's interesting. There's some peculiarities, and what I'm finding through my kind of testing is that iterative AI is the better way to do it. And here's the quick example. So I've built this assistance that writes sequences for our AI, right? So I could just say kind of what we have right here, right? How many touches do you need to do in 4 days?
In total, call, text, email, or just text and email?
Just text and email.
Let's just call it 8.
Okay. I need a sequence of 8 touches over 4 days for a lead that I haven't spoken to yet. Okay, so this assistant is going to create all of this. So it does your initial contact, day 1, day 2, spreads it out different times, and puts in all the messaging about this. Now, what you'll notice here, and what we've talked about many times on this podcast, and even mentioned last week in our episode, is every time that you say, hey, first name, hi, first name, hello, first name, it's op owner from company name, you look pretty dumb. And so what I found with this AI is, as much as I attempted to train this initial writer to not do that, it would still do it. And so what I had to do is, you take this content. So I'm going to take all of this.
So can I ask you something real quick while you're doing that? Is this supposed to be text and email? Because these look like just text.
They just have text for right now. I can expand them into emails, but we have text for just right now.
So if you asked it right now and said, hey, can you copy these and turn them into email format, it won't do it because of your sequence writer?
Because of the information I have in the background of this assistant, it wouldn't be able to do that. I can make it do that. I just didn't get that far.
Okay.
It will. We will.
These look like good text messages, though. They look legit.
Yeah.
I saw the light humor one. Yeah.
Either you're super busy or my messages are getting lost. Can we connect this week? Yeah, it does a really good job. I've trained it pretty well on its content. But so now I have to use this rewriter. Please vary the messaging so we are not saying hi, first name all the time.
Hey, yeah. Hey. Oh yeah. Let's see. No, it still did it. It's like,
and it does some where it takes it out. So I'm still working on this. So there's the last one.
But we could just manually delete it. It still gave you the ideas.
Yeah, for sure. And that's, I mean, this is like I said, version 0.1. This is something I'm still working on. And it's all about the right prompts and the right background information. But yeah, this is good enough for us to take and start building off of inside of InvestorFuse. It's pretty crazy that, like, I mean, I remember I've written sequences. Carlos, you've written sequences. The amount of times you sit there and be like, what the hell should I say? Even though it's like simple, people like just get that kind of writer's block for sequences. And so you could use, you could use this for anything, right? So if I make it new, I need a 100-day sequence for a probate lead that is dealing with a inherited property.
We can come back to this when we do like follow-up sequences, right?
Yeah.
Do like a 30-day, once a week type of thing, once every 3 days, email, once every 3 days, text message over the course of 45 days, something like that. Yeah.
Is it powerful enough, John, where it would know, like a lot of Carrot websites have different pages like about us, this is how we buy properties, a specific like probate, maybe the person even has like a quote unquote ebook on probate in a certain county.
That's what I want to get it to. Like, you could see here that even though I said it's a property, like a probate lead, it's still making it very general. And so that's what I'm trying to work on, is like how to get the actual, like, more content marketing focused messaging.
Exactly.
And then, yeah, also like, hey, input, this is my website. Here's a blog article I've written, stuff like that. Even like potentially getting it to scrape that kind of stuff and automatically putting it in. That's what I want to get into. Yeah.
Like if you had this sequence, and then you could just add stuff to it. Like, here's my website.
And you can
pull relevant articles to build credibility and trust.
So the new Chat GP, like I think it's Omni, or was it, maybe it's just 4.4, can go to websites and read website content now. It didn't used to be able to do that. So it can go to websites and pull information off. So I mean, this will definitely be better. This is very much its early stages of figuring out how we can do this, what it is capable of doing, and getting it into InvestorFuse here in the next few months. All right, I need to switch to a different screen so that we can then show IF3, and we'll start plugging this in. Here we go. All right. You can see I have 3 now?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So basically we're going to do all of I can't even remember where to put sequences. It's been so long. Sequences is over here. So we started one in our first one, but I may not have saved it because we basically decided we were not going to have enough time. So let's do this. What do we want to kind of call this? Like a PPL lead, or do you want to make it a more general name that you could use for any kind of lead, just like initial contact?
If you're, so I'm going to ask you a question first about it though. So are these going to be specific towards this initial contact based on, hey, you filled out an online website form? Like my initial messages are going to reference the marketing material that they reached out on, correct? Those messages
That's
you
a
get on
great question.
episode 1?
It is, in my opinion, and of other people who write great sequences out there, that your sequences should be as specific as possible. If you make your sequences general, you will fade into the crowd of all the other people that are sending them general kind of messaging.
Okay.
So yeah,
so if
you want
that's
it to
the
be
case,
specific.
you answered your own question then.
Mm-hmm.
So then the sequence name needs, and that's the way I like it, which is why up until now I really do everything manual. So yes, let's call it PPL/PPC, because it could be used for PPC as well. They don't. I mean, the customer does not differentiate what PPL to PPC.
Yeah. PPL, PPC, what? First 4 days?
Yeah, because these ones are going to be the first 4 days, and then we'll create another follow-up for 2 things. That was where I was going on the pre-shows. I was like, man, so once we do these initial follow-ups, we should split it off into 2 paths, either the cold or following up with seller, or 3 paths. Cold, following up with seller just naturally, and then following up. If I label it as follow-up with offer, we would have a completely different type of messaging that would say, hey, we made you that offer the other day. Have you had time to think about it? Do you want to schedule a call to follow up on it? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So we could do it like
this
3 parts.
This sequence feels to me the first 4 days. It's almost like an insurance policy of communication back to the seller, so that you're obviously trying to get a hold of them, but also keeping you clean with property leads. And like, bro, look, I sent 8 messages in 4 days, in addition to all the times I called them on smartphone. Like, Andy, work with me here, man. I'm only at 2%.
I'm at 1.75 now. I've lowered
you're top tier.
They approved another one. But, well, Carlos, I was explaining to you guys, maybe not on air, but like my main problem was like, and it happened the other day. I was at my parks, and you have to follow up with these leads, guys, like you do. And if you're a solopreneur, if you're focusing on other stuff, like, who's going to follow up with them if you don't have a VA doing it or something? So that's where these sequences will come in. They will continue to follow up with your leads, even if you're traveling, working.
A little insurance.
Yeah, a little insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't want to miss it, because, again, those 3 days are the most important. Forget about refunds. Those 3 days are just the most important regardless to get a hold of somebody. And if you biff it for 2 days, you might as well just don't even try afterwards. Like, don't even bother.
If you're doing that, just give Andy your credit card and say, what, just anything you want, just put it on me.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, 100%.
All right, let's start. This is incredibly difficult to do on a laptop. All right, here we go. So we're going to send a text as the first step here. And then the other thing to keep in mind here is that you can use templates. So we talked about this in the first episode, where you can set up custom like templates for text, emails, and custom actions inside of InvestorFuse. So if you're using some of the same messages, like you want to have them as templates so you can fire them off one-off, you can also then just very easily plug them into any sequence by using the templates here. But all right.
However, I was going to say, however, would you say is best practice, as we've kind of alluded to, if you're using a template, it's probably good to vary it in some shape or way?
Say that one more time.
If you are going to be using templates, isn't it best practice to vary it in some way, like adjust it maybe even just a little bit? just so you're not
Yes.
sending the same message out as much.
Yeah. Yes. So here's like one kind of note just in general about, especially specifically text messages. I guess emails a little bit too, but you have to understand that carriers, email providers are looking at every message that you send. And if you send the same message over and over and over and over again, you will be flagged as a spammer because it looks like you're using an automated system. And so you want to make sure that you're varying it as much as possible. This is something too that we're bringing into InvestorFuse with all these AI features is an actual AI rewriter. So any message that you send out can go through an AI rewriter that A, removes any non-compliant words, but then B, will just vary the messaging, keeping the same content in
Like
place.
spin tokens?
So that, it's spin tokens, but even fancier. So that every message you send out is essentially unique, which will be great for kind of helping you fly under the radar with the restrictions that are in place.
Yeah.
What's the actual company name? Is it Offer Please?
Home offer, please.
Is there like a hyphen there, or just Offer Please?
No, it's just it's one word.
Like that?
Yeah.
Right. So we're going to send a text message. All right. So now we're going to start adding the different steps to this. Let me just save this so that we have it all in here. Now, because we're doing this in the first 4 days, we need to hit a certain amount of touches. You want to make sure that you're using the time function here. So
Good advice.
what?
I said that's good advice.
Yeah. So the time function lets you send multiple touches per day. So all of the InvestorFuse sequences send on day X is the day of the sequence. So if I start it, the next day is going to be day 1, right? And so I want to be able to, send on day 1, and this is going to be at 9, a.m. So this sequence will be started manually by Brandon. He's going to get the lead, and he's going to do his initial, the autoresponder goes out, text message. He's then going to manually try to call, manually try to get in touch. And then he will then, inside of InvestorFuse, start this sequence, which will start sending out one text message initially, and then it will start sending out messages the next day after that. So basically, day 0, let's call it, is going to be all Brandon and from an autoresponder from the campaign, and then all Brandon, and then one text message from the sequence, and then the next day is going to be all the sequence sending out messages. Does that make sense? I'm going to go with yes, it does make sense.
I'm with you.
Nobody.
That makes sense.
All right. So the next message we are going to get. All right. So just following up, do you have a moment to talk about your property? So that can be at 9:01. Now, one thing that you can do that's kind of fun with these sequences is you could do this. You could go property, and then you can add another step.
This is veteran play. This is how you get your Facebook account banned. But this works for getting a higher response rate from sellers for sure. I love this move.
You can do 9:01 a.m.
Papa P, what's your opinion?
I've always said that. Sorry, I was on mute. I think it's clutch because I've always said that the biggest problem salespeople have in this industry is they're using a keyboard trying to text, but they're texting like it's an email. They're too formal. They type too much. They're not. When you text, it's quick. There's errors. Everyone understands it. That's what makes it real. And too many times I've seen even my sales reps back in the day, they would just be, dude, it'd be like hello, John, comma, this is Brandon.
Salutations.
Yeah, it's like, bro, like who texts like that?
Come to think of it, sometimes I'll see if I'm sending a text message, if it's in the flow of conversation and if there's a misspelled word in there, I kind of still fire it off anyway. Like the timing of the message is more important. And what's funny too is your brain. Have you seen those things where they're like, read this sentence and the words are all jumbled and you can still read it?
Yeah. I'm just getting fancy with the naming here because I want to.
Okay. Dude, get fancy.
So
All
this
right,
will
what kind of
automatically go
email?
out as soon as the lead comes in, right?
No, absolutely not. We do not automatically send out sequences. That is coming, but only when I can put in all these other parameters to help you not look like a. My kids are in this room. I'm trying to figure out a friendly way to say this.
Yeah, I
Horrible
gotcha.
person.
So,
So that has long been a feature requested. Is like, can I
Yes.
just automatically start a sequence? In order for like it to be, let's call it semi-compliant, no, you have to go manually start it. We're working on ways to get around that so that you can have automatic and what we're going to call concurrent sequences, which means that you can continue to use the action-based system while a sequence is running on the opportunity. Currently, what happens with our sequences inside of InvestorFuse is it replaces the action. And so the action is the sequence running. You can use tasks to still have tasks come into call, but the way it works right now, Brandon, is you're going to have the autoresponder from the campaign go out. Then you're going to manually go into that lead because you're still going to call them as soon as that lead comes in, and then you start the sequence.
yeah, so my campaign autoresponder says, hey, blah, blah, blah. It's the one we did last week.
Yeah. 2 weeks ago at this point, but yeah. All right, let's do an email. What kind of email do you? I think you sent me some. Let me pull up that doc, and then we can use one of your emails there inside of this sequence. Boy, do we have too many chats because I can't find the link. Where did you send that link? Why can I not find the Google Doc?
I probably sent it inside the thingamajig.
That's where I am. Maybe you sent it inside the chat last time we were doing it. I thought it was in Slack. Can you send it to me somewhere? Well, I just pulled this up. So our first text went out at 9 a.m. What do you like? Text went out at 9 a.m. When do you want the email to go out?
So my autoresponder goes out right away. I mean, it just depends on what does this say.
So autoresponder goes out right away. You gotta keep in mind the timeline. Let's do day one is autoresponder you, and then you start the sequence. There's one text going out right away. So this is the next day. This is day 2. And we have a text going out at 9 a.m. with the spelling fix.
9 a.m. is fine, and then I would email right after.
Okay, so you want it to literally be like 9:08?
Yeah.
All right.
Not even. I mean, it should go out at the same time the text goes out.
So if they see it on their phone, it's two notifications at once.
9:04?
So basically, here's the proper sequence. One, the initial, hey, I'm going to call you, which is the initial campaign responder, email and text message that happens. And then I call immediately if I'm available. Then obviously when I get back to my computer, I call if I'm available now, and then I'll initiate this sequence. The next day, now I met my day 1 criteria. The next day, it goes out, hey, let's schedule a time. Like, hey, I have not heard back from you. Can we schedule a time to talk? I have free time this afternoon. And so that's a text and an email. Hey, I also shot you a text message, wanted to shoot you an email to let you know, like, hey, I got some time this afternoon. Do you still want to do this? And then it gets more throughout every day after. And you could do one at the end of the day too. Hey, never heard back from you today, blah, 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 blah. And then again, the next morning at 9 a.m., it's another text and an email checking in with them again, saying, hey, I guess you changed your mind. And that's where I go. I guess you changed your mind. You don't want to hear an offer. The next day is, hey, sounds like you probably don't want to sell anymore. Do you not want to discuss this? If so, just let me know. That actually got a guy to talk to me yesterday, is when I said you don't want to sell anymore. And he responded back to me and says, yeah, you guys keep lowballing me. And I was like, well, that's funny because we haven't talked yet. So
Did you tell him that?
No. No.
That's pretty funny.
What I said was, well, we haven't had a chance to speak yet. I was like, but if you want to make this short and sweet, you could just let me know what price you're looking for, and I can save you time and let you know if I could get close to that.
Love that.
So how's this again? What's this email on day 2 gonna sound like? I just shot you a text message, but also wanted to email you. I tried calling yesterday.
No, you don't want to sound desperate. Hey, I just shot you a text message, but also wanted to email you. I haven't heard back from you. Did you have time today to schedule a call? Simple.
I haven't heard back from you. Did you have time today to schedule a call? Yeah.
And you can be like, yeah, I'm free later today if you are. Let me know. Thank you.
Love it.
Yeah, we can do these off
Cool.
the cuff, bro. I don't care.
All right, cool. There's our email. What kind of subject do you want for that?
The subject is always, no matter what, the property address - offer request.
Do you want the full opportunity address or just the street?
Usually just the street, but it doesn't matter.
We got that.
The street, yeah.
Yes, you can. All right, street address and then - offer, like that.
Request.
Offer request.
They're requesting an offer from Papa P. This gentleman may be getting lowballed, but he's asking for it.
Yeah.
All right.
He needs a little bit of what I got.
All right. So we got one text going out at 9, one going like the spelling fix at 9:01, and then we've got an email at 9:04. So you need to call. So we're going to also assign you a task. This is going to be day 2. Task A. PPC/PPL. Day 2. Lead. Let's call day 2. Cool.
And then honestly, John, I would do at the end of day 2, I would do another email.
Okay.
And then we could do at the end of day 3, we could do a second another 2 texts. So now you're hitting it 4 times each day. Text, email, call, email, text, email, call, text. And then by day 4.
Okay, we're on day 2. Just let's calm down. Day 2.
So
you want a text again or an email?
No, an email. I would do an email this time, very non-intrusive. And it would just be something about like, hey, I'd never heard back from you today about scheduling a call. Let's touch base tomorrow. Maybe we can connect.
Never heard back from you today about scheduling call. Okay. What was it then?
You could be like, I'm about to head out of the office, but let's get in touch tomorrow to see if we could connect. Let's touch base tomorrow. Let's touch base tomorrow to see if we could connect. And then send that out at like 6 o'clock.
Okay. That's supposed to be an apostrophe, yes?
No, I never use apostrophes.
All right.
Do we even have an apostrophe in our logo for Let's Talk Real Estate? Is it just Let's?
Oh, I don't know. That's I was in charge of that. That would have been funny. All right, we're gonna send on day 1 at 6, like right at 6 or like 6:03.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
6:03. All right, so now we're moving on to day 3. All right, you want to do the same thing, text and email at like 9ish?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is going to be text 2, or no, text 1. We'll send a text. We're going to do day 2, 9:01 a.m. All right, what?
A morning exclamation mark.
Morning exclamation mark.
I just got into the office.
Uh-huh.
Did you still? This is day 2, but day 3, right? So this is 2 days. Did you still want? What? Hang on, I'm sorry. Good morning. I just got in the office. Were you still interested? Were you still interested in hearing an offer on your property? If so, what's a good time to schedule with you to discuss?
Do you ever throw your company name in any of these, or is that in the signature? What does that look like?
It's usually in the. Well, it's usually in my first message.
The subject line, I'm wondering if it would be helpful to put it in there. Not to split hairs here. I'm kind of just thinking out loud.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
There's no subject line in text, though.
No, I'm going back to the last email.
Mm-hmm. That what I mean? It does. It would populate in the signature. So
oh, you didn't put a subject in there, did you?
Yeah.
Oh no, what was this one? Oh yeah, this needs to be.
Well, I'm just thinking about it because I'm thinking about the gentleman that was accusing Papa P here of giving lowball offers before he had the chance to speak to them. I'm wondering if the company name in there, offer request from company name, would make sense, or in some of the later emails.
You want to do that? Oh, we could do that. I don't care. You could just say offer request from home offer, please. With, because it's not from. They made the request.
Exacto.
And don't say with. Do W/home offer, please.
Yeah, I like that. Oh, that looks clean.
Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Do you want this? You want the same?
Yeah. I do it on the same every time.
Okay. Home offer, please. Okay. All right. Day 3, text 1. Morning, I just got to the office. Were you still interested in hearing an offer on your property? If so, what's a good time to chat today? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and we're not going to do the spelling mistake on this one. Maybe we'll do one on another one. All right, but we're going to follow that straight up with an email. So this is day 3, email 1. Let me. Can you guys hear that TV in the background?
I don't.
Mine?
No, mine.
I saw Papa P laugh at something on TV, but
Biden's on there.
All right, where we go? 3. All right, email 1. All right, we're gonna send an email. Same.
So hang on, I'm gonna swap screens real quick. I had a good one where I was sending out, so hang on. Let's see.
Ooh.
So why don't we do?
I'm ready to type.
Or good. You change to good morning. Have you changed your mind on selling? You'd be like, good morning. Have you changed your mind on selling the property? If so, just let us know and we will remove you from our contacts.
In the email?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds pretty professional.
Good.
Like that sounds more email vibe.
I mean, I've gotten responses on it.
Yeah. No, I like it.
It's John. It's in the private chat. You can copy and paste it.
Oh. I'm on a tiny screen. Already.
Oh, okay. That's fine. Have you changed your mind
on
selling the property?
I got it. Oh, it's going to format it wrong. All right, I'll just...
Have you changed your mind on selling the property? If so, next space. If so, just let us know and we will remove you from our contacts. Thank you.
Boom. All right,
John. Not to split hairs too much here. Are there unsubscribe links in the email signatures or under those?
I don't think we do have unsubscribe links.
They don't get to fucking unsubscribe. Fuck them.
Because what was
the attorney in my ear is telling me to say, yes, they do get to unsubscribe, or you can be sued.
Yeah, our producer also got a law degree for fun back in the day. But for text, there was some unsubscribed language in there, wasn't there, for the first text?
Yeah, so it's a good call out. It depends right now inside of InvestorFuse what provider you use. So if you're using our own Twilio connection, you will have unsubscribes, like stop, reply stop to unsubscribe in every text message. If you're using smartphone, you don't yet. You will here in a few months, but it will follow the guidelines. So the way we've done it with Twilio is that it's every single message. That's not the guidelines put out by the phone carriers and the powers that be for HTTP 10 DLC. The guidelines is you must send it on the first message and at least once per month. So that's what we'll be enforcing inside of either if you're doing it manually, if you're sending it via sequences, we're going to check to see the last time that went out. If it's been over a month, we will include it at the end of your message to keep you compliant with your text messages.
Cool.
All right. So we've got a text going out at 9:01. We'll send the email out closer to that 9:04. We're going to give you another task to give them a call.
Hey, I'm in there. In the 9:04. Thank you.
So we're going to do a task.
This looks clean.
Day 3. Task 1. And this will be at 9:30. All right. Now, what are we doing in the afternoon for this day 3?
What do we do for the text in the morning?
We did. Morning, I just got into the office. Were you still interested in offering your property? So it's a good time to chat today. What are we doing in the afternoon?
Yeah, hang on. Wasn't it? Okay. Yeah.
Email, text. What do you want to do?
No, we're texting. We're texting.
Texting. Okay.
I would say John.
Why are you just saying my name over and over again?
Because I was waiting till I got. So this one got flagged actually, and I was kind of surprised. So I like this one. It was like, you changed your mind on needing to hear an offer on your property, ? Or would you like to schedule a call with us to discuss further? Because it was just very blunt. It was at the end of the day, and I was like, boom. And then they.
When do you mean it got flagged?
So like, smartphone, your message was flagged as objectionable by the carrier to protect their subscribers. They have.
I want to put this message through my compliance checker. What was it again?
Copy and paste it over. But let's just do something kind of ramp it from there. You could keep that. But how about, did you change your mind on wanting to hear an offer with us, from us?
All right. So here's what my compliance checker says. The message contains phrases that could be considered problematic under the guidelines. Offer is listed under financial gain words to avoid. Schedule a call with us as a call to action that could be seen as too strong. Here's a revised version of your message. Did you decide against hearing more about your property, or would you prefer to discuss it further on a call? So that's what my
copy paste that. Copy paste that bitch right into the text message. I love how soft this generation is. Schedule a call is too fucking forward. Like, schedule. Oh no! How dare you use such strong language on me?
Oh god.
All right. So we're on a call. What time do you want this text to go out?
It's 5:45.
All right. And then no other email on day 3?
No, I say we just follow up with a final one on day 5 before it goes into a cold sequence, because then it should switch sequences. You know, it should get out of this initial sequence and then transfer over to a cold sequence, which we could develop on another podcast next week or whatever, where it's like what to do, and we do like weekly whatever, just a long-term 90-day type of sequence.
All right, so just
longer than that.
One text message on the last day, or one email, or both?
We're gonna do text and email every day, bro.
Okay, day 4.
They ain't getting off that fucking easy.
Preach.
Text 1. All right. Send text. This is going out on day 4 of the sequence. This is going to be again like 9:06 a.m. What do you want this message to be?
How about like I want to be more strong on this.
Okay.
And
We'll ask my compliance checker to see if.
Okay. So how about something like, I never heard from you. I assume this is something you don't want to discuss anymore.
Negative assumption.
I assume this is something you don't want to what?
To discuss anymore. Or you must have sold the property.
Okay. That's it?
Yeah, hang on, I'm trying, bro. Like my brain can only go so fast. I'm coming off of this off the cuff. I want to do something which gives them an ins, so that catches their attention. Either wants to correct me, like they're gonna want to correct me, but I also want to leave it open. Want to discuss, or you have sold the property. So something like, sorry we never got to chat. Let me know if I could be of further assistance. So I said the sorry we never got to chat because I don't want them to mistake me with somebody else. Because that happens way too much. So I want them to know that we never talked.
P.S. The other offers that you got weren't from me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's happened so many times.
I'm sure.
All right. This message you provided is compliant with guidelines. It does not
Fuck yeah,
contain
it
any
is.
prohibited words to assist financial guidance.
The fuck do you even need AI for when you have me?
That's true.
All right. And then we're going to send another email.
That'd be a cool logo. Brandon spelled out, and the A and the I, and Brandon is capitalized or bolded, italicized, etc.
I like it. I'll do that.
Brandon AI, Papa P AI.
So let's do something for the email. Hang on. I have one here. How about like, Carlos, what do you think of this? Is kind of like, hello, I have not heard back from you on scheduling a call to discuss what we could do to help you on your property sale. Is this no longer is this no longer of interest to you?
That sounds good. I think the decision here for me, what's coming up in thought is, do I want to keep hitting them with a similar message of like, you put your info, I haven't heard from you, let me know if you're still interested. I'm wondering creatively, I'm not sure off the top of my head, if there's something we could do for like a behavior pattern interrupt.
What do you mean?
Like something that's not something that's not having that same message.
Yeah. I'm down for that. Give me a suggestion.
I'm thinking of something like, what I was thinking of one of the text messages was like, hey, I'm in the office. This is my time where I'm following up with people that have reached out for me to buy their home. You're one of my files, one of my leads, something or other. Let me know if you're, or I said, I'm going to try calling you. Well, that's the one thing that you could do is say, hey, I'm going to be calling you again.
Okay, so how about this? Morning. I had some time this morning. I know. How about this? I finally had some free time this morning. To sit down and see who I haven't been able to talk to. Carlos, what was the rest that you said? You were like,
it's essentially along lines of like, you have multiple people that have reached out like, hey, can you buy my house? Right now, I have some time this morning to call those people. And I saw I hadn't reached you yet.
And I saw, I gotcha. So next space. No, go down. I saw that you were on the list and wanted to reach out to you first. Something like that.
Yeah, and letting them know, hey, I'm going to be calling you.
I saw you were on the list, so I wanted to reach out, yeah, and let you know that I'm going to be calling you in a little bit to talk. I'm going to call you later today to talk.
Okay.
To talk about. I'm going to be calling you later today to see if we're able to make an offer on your property.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If we are able. All right. That's actually a great email, but I don't think it blends well with the text message that's going out minutes before.
Gotcha. Never heard from you. That's true. We can mirror email in general, just to change up just to vary, like almost like the message or like the call to action ever so slightly.
So what would we change in this email then to match it?
Well, I think that okay. So I think day 4 needs to be more final. So we can match the text in the email, but let's bring this email up to day 3 or something.
There we go. Yeah, that's I like that.
Let's copy and see where we can place it.
So we have a text.
No, go back
Okay.
up. What was the day 3 email? No, right there. No, right there.
Have you changed your mind on selling the property? If so, just let us know.
Yeah,
and we'll
no.
remove you from
Just
our
copy.
contacts.
And what was the text? Okay.
All right, we can adjust the text.
Yeah. Just copy and paste that. Just boom. Just there you go. Done.
Morning.
And we adjust the text.
Okay, so
and go up to this text message, and just be like, "Good morning. I got into the office vibes. Be like, I'm free later, and I am going to give you a call to see if we're able to discuss to see if we're able to help on your and misspell property."
I'll give you a call to see if we can. We already misspelled property. Help. See if we can help.
Don't misspell help.
All right.
But misspell property, but don't correct it.
Free later, and I'm going to give you a call to see if we can help. What with your property or help?
Morning. I just got into the office. I'm free later, and I'm going to give you a call to discuss what we can help with on your property.
To discuss what we can help with.
What do you think, Carlos? Better?
I like that.
Property.
I like that. Another beauty of inbound leads, it's like, hey, you're controlling the frame, you're calling the shots.
Put the O back in there and just double up the R and the T.
What do you mean double it up? What, like literally like that?
Proper T, like, yeah, you typed an extra word. Your text is so fast.
Maybe take out the period too, unless that affects something.
Yeah. No, definitely take out the period.
The ending period. People that end text with John, no offense if you do this. I don't know. Do you put periods on your text?
I don't know. I have to go back. I don't think so.
Okay. That kind of just gives
unless
the vibe
I'm
of a little
writing
too
many
formal for me.
sentences.
No, just the end one, just how the messages end.
Yeah,
you need periods in there just for tone and understanding the message.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
I do put in periods.
Yeah. Wait. If he's it's a mix. There's a mix of some with and some without. But I would say he is somebody who ends with punctuation. Whether it's a question mark, a period, or an exclamation mark. John loves punctuations.
Exclamation marks and questions are good because you need that. But if it's just a standard like period to end the sentence, a little formal.
All right. So, day 4. Okay.
So how about the end of the day one? Where now do we go hard on them?
Hold on. Let me get your task in here. Okay.
Because we took out that sorry we never got a chance to chat, right?
For
I think I saw it in there.
I thought we just deleted it on day 3.
hold on, I'm doing too many things at once.
It gets confusing.
Right. Remember, like without seeing them all like laid out. I think we did see one though.
All right. What were you asking me?
The sorry we never got to chat. What did we do? What did we change? But I think I may have saw a sorry in here.
Oh, there it is.
Sorry, we never got to chat. Let me know if I can be of further assistance. I assume this is something you don't want to discuss anymore. You must have sold the property. Oh, we have to rewrite this email. This is the one we put back on day 3. So we need a different email for day 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so it would be
along the same lines.
I have not heard back from you on scheduling a call to discuss what we could do to help on your property sale. I assume this is no longer of interest to you.
I heard back from you. What? You go so too fast. Not heard back from you.
I'm about scheduling a call. Yeah, about scheduling a call to discuss what we could do to help you on your property sale.
Uh-huh. Then what?
I assume this is no longer of interest to you. And that's it. Wish you the best.
Okay, cool. So do we need to do something at the end of day 4, or are we done?
I say we send out one final text.
Could we do like something like,
Good.
Yeah,
go in the office for a couple hours?
Nah, I would just do a goodbye. Be like,
good riddance from home office.
Yeah, something like, try to get in touch with you earlier. I'm sure you're busy or no longer want to sell. Let me know if I can ever be of assistance to you. That's it.
Do you want to purposely misspell this? Do your like that?
You are.
All right, let's put this through the compliant checker. You guys can't see my screen, but I am doing
it. We believe you.
Yeah, we believe you. Try to get in touch with you earlier. I'm sure you're busy.
Hold on. It said, private text message is mostly compliant, but includes a phrase that could be interpreted as assuming the recipient's intent, which might be seen as slightly pushy or presumptive. Here's a revised version to ensure full compliance in a neutral tone. Hi, I tried to reach you earlier. Please let me know if there's anything I can assist you with. Thanks. So it doesn't like that. I'm sure you're busy or no longer want to sell.
How about this? I'm sure you're busy or no longer interested. Replace the word sell with interested, and then fuck the compliance.
I'm curious what the compliance would even say if you did something like you did the text message. Hey there, I'm outside your house at 123 Main Street. If you wanted to talk in person about selling your house.
Bro, I remember when I had that sales guy who was like asking this woman, it's like, "Are you home? Are you home right now?" And he was just trying to figure out like if she lived there, and he's like, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, do you live by yourself?" As in like, hey, who else are the decision makers? But he botched it so bad. He had this woman panicking. She looked us up, called the office, talked to me, the boss. I had to talk her down, explain he was new. It was wild, dude.
Oh my gosh.
But the worst part is when she called back, when like he hung up because he knew he messed up, because then he got worried, and she called back that number, he wouldn't pick up, and he had picked up and hung up, so it made it look even shadier, bro. It was a whole debacle.
Yeah.
It was a whole debacle.
Mm.
Yeah. Good intentions, but
Okay.
bad implementation.
Yeah. All right. You want that one to go out at 5:42 p.m.?
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So now what we're gonna do is for the next action, which is like when this sequence finishes, we're going to do a custom action, and we're gonna call this PPL PPC first 4 days sequence completed. Take next actions. You can actually put submit lead for refund, or I guess evaluate if lead can be refunded.
Funded or send into cold. Yeah, start cold marketing.
Well, even if you refund it, you should put it back on the
Yeah,
sequence
yeah.
and start longer term cold sequence. Boom. Look at that. You have yourself one nifty difty little sequence.
Why is test in there? Should we remove test?
That was me earlier. Yeah. Let me just get rid of that. Boom.
Oh, I get
Love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Clean. Very clean.
So then, okay, so now we have our initial autoresponders. Today we worked on our first 4 days. Next week, let's come back and I say we do. So there's 3 ways I want to go for next week, and we can pick one of them. So once I talk to somebody in InvestorFuse, I take over the actions again. But listen, like calling, texting, remembering all that stuff, I say you think is we set up basically a sequence for that. So then if I call again or something to that nature and they don't pick up, they're in a warm sequence follow up. So if my action is to call them the next day and I call and they pick up, cool, nothing. I'm now on a warm hot lead. But if I call the next day and they don't pick up, okay, well now at this point, like I need to put it into a warm, like multi-touch per day sequence again for 4 days almost, slightly changing, and now it's all about following up. And then the other one would be an offer. If I made an offer at all and I do the same thing, they say, call me back tomorrow or call me back today after I talk to my wife or yeah, whatever. That needs to be a specific sequence for, hey, we made that offer the other day. I assume it was embarrassing and you didn't like it and you hate me now, blah, blah, blah. And then the final one would be the cold sequence, is they just don't respond to you at all, and we go into a cold sequence.
Yeah, I like those. I think any one of those would be fun.
No, we're gonna do them all. Yeah.
Maybe we'll work on a little like in between. Maybe we can have some of them done and then just kind of review them
I personally, listen, dude, I disagree. I really think that what we did today, brainstorming live, thinking the process through, I think that adds value. If we have people watching this trying to figure out sequences, what we did today allows them to hear our thought processes of Carlos's sales experience and my sales experience and you putting together the AI and the compliance stuff. It actually is, I think it's better than what most people would get otherwise. So I say we do the same thing and let them hear our thought processes. And I say next week we start. So here's my thing. Follow up is the most important. Then I would say the offer one and then the cold one, because again, cold ones you're not making any money off of today. But the follow-up one, if somebody does talk to you and then they don't pick up day 2 after you've talked to them, you want a sequence for that ASAP. So let's create that next time. Then the offer one, the episode after, and then we'll do in week 3 or week 5 of this series, we'll do the cold sequence. And at that point, we have a full-on sequence running.
Love it. Cool. I'll work on the AI a little bit more this week and see if we can get it to be even fancier. We'll call version 0.2 next week to write the whole sequence. We'll see what we can get there. Maybe I can get it to include email too.
Yeah, that'd be clutch, dude.
Without ringless voicemail, would you fire off any ringless voicemails in there?
I would love to.
You can, for sure.
I am phenomenal at ringless voicemails.
You can do direct mail too.
Dude, let's throw some ring. I mean, I know this is
the only time I would do direct mail. The only time I would do direct mail is on the offer one. I would throw in the offer one because that's a little more expensive, and then the ringless voicemail I would definitely be adding in. Check with your attorney for legalities, but I mean, I definitely think there's some clutch there. It really works well with old people.
Yeah, they're They're like, oh, I'm sorry, I missed your call. Well, now I'm correcting myself because with this first one, the insurance policy for the first 4 days of reaching out to people, you're calling them manually every day and leaving voicemails. The Ringiest voicemail make no.
So I don't leave a message on the first call. I will leave a message usually on like the second and third call, and because once you have one voicemail from me, you have it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You got my text message knowing that it's me calling you because I do it pretty much simultaneously. And so me leaving you a voicemail right then and there, like my goal would then be the next day. Now, if you don't pick up the next day, I'm going to leave you a voicemail because now I'm 1 day removed from when you put in that form and I want to verbally remind you. You know what I mean? But day one, you submit a form 2 minutes later, I'm calling you with a text and an email. You know what it's about. Day two, though, I feel like a voicemail is appropriate. Maybe day three, day four. At this point, they're telling you to fuck off.
Yeah, true. All right, cool. So, well, we'll do some more next week then.
So
any pulse of the week for you guys?
Anything happen about me?
My man Trump convicted on all 34 counts.
Oh my God, he's a felon.
People are calling him a convicted felon these days.
But so I went deep on what this whole thing was. And did you actually research this whole thing of what it is?
No, I have not looked.
So
I hear it from like
so
I hear
listen
it
to this.
from. I like to get my sources from friends that are like specifically my consigliere, who's very down the middle, and I'm
which
in a
is
group
me.
chat that I'm not cut off.
So basically me because I'm down the middle. Okay, I'm glad we're on the same page here. And I am, John. I know I'm a Trump supporter. One, I also liked what RFK said last night, which was I thought it was very, very astute for him to say that, very politically apt for him to say what was happening wasn't fair, and he just doesn't think this is a good use of the justice. He wants to win fair and square, and I like RFK, like I do. I think it would be wild. I also think he has a high propensity to probably be assassinated. He'd be the third Kennedy, and I don't want that to happen to him because I think he's a good dude. But no, so here's the thing is, so I researched it, and I was listening to a bunch of attorneys and their videos and stuff. So Stormy Daniels was releasing a book about a supposed sexual encounter that she had with Trump. Trump's attorney, supposedly, according to the attorney, under orders from Trump, paid Stormy Daniels for the rights to her book to never publish it. So they bought the rights to the book. That's it. Happens all the time. So the lawyer paid for it out of his pocket, I guess, I don't know whether personally his pocket, I'm assuming the law firm's pocket. Trump's then business reimbursed his attorney and labeled it on their books as legal fees. This was in 2016. That, they claim, is falsifying records. And he made 11 payments. So they've charged him 11 times, one for each payment. Then there was like 12 correspondences and like another 12 or 11 something, and that equals 34. So they got him each time he paid, every single recording and every single like invoice or something, that equals 34. Okay. That was the entire thing. But that in the state of New York is only a misdemeanor. And the statute of limitations has run out. But what they did to make it a felony is, in their infinite wisdom, and it's a state level prosecution, but they decided to go with federal charges, which basically says that he was trying to commit another crime, which was fraud, to get elected in 2016 by hiding this, saying that his whole conspiracy was, I'm paying this woman off so I could be elected, and that is what they're saying is the federal felony charge, even though technically the state shouldn't be able to do that because, it's the state, not the Fed. They're not a federal prosecutor, which is why no one would bring the charges except for this judge, and they have to go through so many precedents. One of which is violating or getting, I forget the terminology, but basically getting approval to go over the statute of limitations to wrangle this guy back in. And when I read this, I was like, so 34 counts, that's just all like marketing material. It's like, nah, dude, it was like one thing. One thing fucking happened, okay? They bought book rights. And he paid his lawyer, which is a legal fee. And they're claiming that it's not a legal fee. He knew that.
and he purposely labeled it as legal fees. So when his books were reviewed, supposedly nobody would know. And he did that specifically so he could fool the American people on a conspiracy to commit fraud to be elected to the president of the United States. And when I was like, is this legitimately what this is all about? And they're calling it hush money. People buy book rights all the time when they don't want things of their personal lives to be written. You know what I mean? That's what happens. It's a right to a book. But they make it seem as if they personally paid her with an envelope full of cash to keep quiet about sex when she was just writing a memoir and he was included in it and they bought the book rights. And his lawyer did it. And he paid his lawyer a lawyer bill. And so, like, I was watching these videos and these lawyers and former district attorneys and everyone saying this is the most wild thing that has happened. But here's the best part. He could still become president. He could still technically, and there was 2 presidents in America that have in 1992 and in 1920 that ran while in jail. Didn't win.
Oh, really?
Obviously.
That's funny.
Is he going to go to jail, actually?
So
no.
One, the misdemeanor, no, for sure not. The felony, potentially up to 4 years served concurrently. But
based off of how old he is and the type of case it is, the judge would be the stupidest person on the planet to do that.
But again, it's a New York judge who ran on the platform of putting Trump away. So I'm pretty sure the same judge that did this gets to imply the sentencing. Am I not? I mean, I don't know that for a fact.
No, that's correct.
Yeah, so this is the guy that ran on the platform. This is the guy that brought the case when nobody else would.
Yeah.
So
I don't think it's going to happen.
They're saying, and even if it does, I agree with you, John. But if it does, here's what I was saying last night. One, I think it's wild that all this is happening and that like this is tearing America apart regardless of what you think. What they've done, they put Trump was the most popular man in America during the 90s and early 2000s. His name, everybody knew and loved him. He was hit. Gold, Trump, Apprentice, like everyone loved Trump. He was in fucking Home Alone, okay? That was it. That was his moment. Then he became president. And you know what? We have a lot of presidents that like we don't even fucking remember, okay?
Oh yeah.
You remember some of them. Some of them you know, but like most of them, this put him down in history. He will never be forgotten. Like what they've done now, this is his Civil War. This is his Watergate. This is his fucking civil rights. This is his like 9/11 Iraq war. Like this is it. He didn't do much in his presidency to really like be remembered. Like there was nothing crazy that you're going to talk about in the history books. But this, I was like, they made him a fucking legend with this. And if he wins while in jail, that's it, bro. That's it, dude. Like this is wild. I think he will. Wouldn't it be? And then he wins, and they're saying so. What'll happen is if he goes to jail, that then they'll invoke the 25th Amendment to immediately impeach him. But then the power will go to his vice president. So they're saying Trump is just going to appoint, obviously a sympathizer, a buddy. I forget the term.
Then just give him his pardon.
But they're saying even the pardon may become difficult, but I don't know. I don't know how because I thought a president.
It's just a freaking waste of time and everybody's bandwidth and tax dollars. Like who the hell cares?
If they did that, like what they would do to like tearing America apart for this is the most.
It's just not worth it.
That's so sad.
Clinton paid off Paula Jones. That never she got
all
like
of them
850
do shit like
they
that.
all do
all of them.
And they had this case for 7 years, and they wait until now, and now the sentencing is 4 days before the RNC, and it's like, dude.
All politics is dumb. They did the same thing with Hillary Clinton with her fucking emails. Like all of it's stupid. Can we just be people? Can we just be people?
Is there a chance? And I want you to know this is how down the middle I am, and I was thinking about this today. Is there a chance that the Democrats didn't do this? And Trump is doing this because
that's an interesting question.
Because if there was because here's my rational logical thought. people are generally in politics, people understand the law, people are smart. Yes, they understand when you get America, like masses, power of the masses, stupid things happen. But like, if you had to put together a case that you could beat and become a fucking hero and a legend and build your persona, because he's only become stronger in the polls. He raised $39 million in a few hours last night from small donors donating from $20 to $50. Means regular
Wow.
Americans within a span of like, I think 10 hours donated $39 million to his campaign after he was convicted. He is now a fucking legend. Did he do that? Like, because Trump would do something like that. Like,
I wouldn't put
Yeah, I
it
wouldn't put it
past
past
him.
him.
he's a fucking underdog now. He went from being a hated person as like you're a rich billionaire who's orange and you're mean to now you're being picked on and bullied by a mean justice system. You're an underdog hero representing the American people. I'm just throwing it out there. Like, if I was to do it, this would be the perfect scenario.
Yeah.
No PR is bad PR. And if Trump is anything, he has been and still is a phenomenal marketer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Like, dude, wouldn't that be
Good president?
wild?
Phenomenal marketer? Sure.
Kept us out of wars, though, John. Kept us out of wars. Don't agree with him on the whole lockdown thing, but, you know, still kept us out of wars. But Joe Biden is strong, steady, well-spoken.
Talk about someone who could put together a good follow-up sequence or two.
Yeah.
Maybe
Oh,
some follow-up calls.
Biden could do it, dude. He could do it. You'd be getting mumble text messages, like you'd be like, you contacted me because wait a second. Anyway, I just wanted to say that because I was sitting here last night. I saw it live happen each time. Like, I saw the verdict come in live, and then I saw Trump speak live. And then, like, I love Bloomberg because they're so Democrat that, like, as soon as Trump's done speaking, the same woman gets on, like, obviously, Mr. Trump saying the same stuff, even though it is completely false, speaking falsified information, but he is sticking with the same story about how this is a witch hunt, which we obviously know is not true. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here laughing, like, fucking Bloomberg, bro. Fucking Bloomberg. So,
why can't we just focus on more important things?
It's all over. I mean, everybody's talking about it today, and all the billionaires of New York are now, and it's funny because, like, and that's why I said, did Trump do this? Because now a lot of the billionaires of New York, the big money guys, are now all backing him. And it's like, and he didn't have that before. And I was like, is this something that we're not expecting? I don't know.
Whatever.
He's going to be president, dude. Whether you vote for Biden or not, John, he's got my vote. He's going to be fucking president.
Oh, God.
If he becomes president or doesn't become president, it's all going to cause problems. So at this point in time, I'm just like,
I think you're right about that. I think the easiest solution, and I don't mean this in a negative way to him, I think the easiest solution is RFK.
Yeah,
I would love RFK to be president. Let's do this.
But I think he's made a lot of mistakes. I don't agree with some of his stances, but like I agree with a lot of his messaging. I don't think he is as on point as what he thinks with becoming an independent and winning. It's never been done. I don't think he has the numbers or the polling. I don't think he's been around in the spotlight long enough. Yeah, where I know he's saying that he's going to win.
He might take votes away somehow, but he's not going to win.
No, and that's a shame. I think the Democrats should have easily, and I'm not a Democrat, but I think, like, dude, you were fucking stupid to not have him run against Trump, because then I think Trump would be worried. Right now, Trump's not worried. The only thing he's worried about is, like, dude, the constant barrage of legal battles.
Yeah.
But anyway, RFK's just over there doing push-ups and pull-ups, just waiting for his chance.
All right. Well, tune in next time for more sequence work, and we'll focus on what can actually affect your day-to-day life, not things like what happens in the New York courtroom. But yeah. Oh, man. The world we live in.
The world we live in.
All right, guys. See you next week.